Hello, check it out. I'm trying something new here. So here's your equation, and the first thing I thought to solve it was I needed to have it all sines or all cosines, both mixed up is kind of a pain in the butt. So I thought about using the Pythagorean identity. Sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. So I solve for cosine squared, so I get 1 minus sine squared. So what I want to do is in this equation right here, I want to replace cosine squared with 1 minus sine squared. So then I'll have an equation that only has sine in it right here. And so substituting that in for cosine squared, I'm going to have to distribute the 2 through, which gives me this. And then combining like terms, like 2 minus 1 is going to be plus 1. I get negative 2 sine squared minus the sine of x plus 1 equals 0. And then I decided I don't like the negative in front there, so I multiplied both sides by negative 1. And the nice thing is 0 sucks up that negative 1. And so then I just have to clean up the left side there. So that's a little easier to deal with. Next thing is to make it look easier by saying, well, let's just call the sine of x y, because then we can rewrite the equation as 2y squared plus y minus 1 equals 0, which is a quadratic equation, which I believe factors like this. And you could multiply, FOIL this out to see that it gives you what you have above. Anyway, this is uses what's called the zero product rule. Two things multiplied, the answer is 0. Either one of the things is 0 or the other thing is 0. So, which is a lot easier to solve. So if we solve this one right here, we get y equals a half, which means really the sine of x is a half, right? Because y is really the sine of x. On this one, y plus 1 equals 0 means y is negative 1, or the sine of x is negative 1. And then I usually draw pictures of circles to solve things like this. Sine is a y value on the unit circle, so y equals a half on the unit circle would be about here, which means I either have this point or I have that point. And I believe your problem said to use angles between pi over 2 and negative pi over 2, which means I'm stuck on the left side of the unit circle here. So that means this angle right here, pi over 6, is the one I want to get the sine of x to be 1/2. Which would also be, what, 30 degrees if you like degrees. This one right here, sine of x is negative 1. That means on the unit circle y is negative 1. And again, if I want to stay between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2, the only angle I can choose to get down there is negative pi over 2. So sweep down like negative 90 degrees. So I think the two answers are negative pi over 2 and pi over 6. And so then you should substitute those back into the original up here. First put in like pi over 6 here and check to see that you get 0. Then plug in negative pi over 2 here and see that you get 0. Hope that helps. Later.